there, I'm Asya Shahanaz, your English faculty. Today we are going to deal with the introduction to one of the poems of MA program second semester, that is The Wasteland, written by T.S. Eliot. Here it goes.
The poem Wasteland, which is written by T.S. Eliot, and it is one of the work from 20th century. Wasteland is written by T.S. Eliot, and this particular poem is being divided into 5 sections, and each section, the names are The Burial of the Dead, then the second one, A Game of Chess, third one, The Fire Sermon, fourth, Death by Water, 5, What the Thunder Said. So these are the 5 parts. So before getting into each sections, let me talk something about this poem. That is, this poem has been published in 1922, and it has been published in a journal called Criterion. Okay, and this poem has got 433 lines, and as I have told, it has got 5 parts. It has been dedicated to his, I told you it is written by T.S. Eliot, and this particular poem is been dedicated to T.S. Eliot's fellow poet, that is his contemporary poet, Ezra Pound. You might have heard about Ezra Pound. He is an American poet and critic. And he was a person who advanced a modern movement in English and American literature along with T.S. Eliot. So they were really good companions. And this poem actually was gone through by him. It was sent to him by T.S. Eliot after writing. And Ezra Pound, he edited this poem. And so we should understand that Ezra Pound's effort is also there here. And apart from this, T.S. Eliot has a lot of contributions could be seen here by his T.S. Eliot's wife also. But it is not been officially noted, but you should know about it, okay? So this particular poem is a product after a great effort from T.S. Eliot, after undergoing a lot of references, readings and thinking, okay? So that is the reason why it came out to be a very fantastic and a really classic work by T.S. Eliot, okay? Then, this poem expresses the disillusionment and disgust of the period after World War I. As we told it, right, in our introduction, that what happened in World War I, and we know that what was the situation of the society was really broken, and people were strayed. They didn't had any focus on their life or on their any moral values or anything. They didn't had any plan or focus in their life, and the society was really getting deteriorated in every aspects, like moral, ethics, everything, okay? Then T.S. Eliot is a poet, critic, and just like the poet critics before him, like Dryden, Wordsworth, Matthew Arnold and all, we know that these are Dryden, Wordsworth and Matthew Arnold, all were poets like T.S. Eliot, but they were also poet critics, okay? So likewise, T.S. Eliot was also a poet critic. And he is the representative writer of modern age. That you should take into your mind. Never ever forget that he belongs to modern age, and he is a representative writer of modern age. And we know many other modernist writers are there. It's like James Joyce, D.H. Lawrence, Virginia Woolf, Ezra Pound. Ezra Pound is an American, okay? While we are talking about English writings, we can find James Joyce, D.H. Lawrence, Virginia Woolf, and many others, okay? So these are some of the eminent modernist writers. Then the Wasteland actually is a masterpiece of T.S. Eliot. We can see that he has written a lot of works. He's a playwright. See, even you have got in your syllabus to learn The Murder in the Cathedral, which is been written by, it's a drama written by T.S. Eliot. So, and it is really wonderful piece. Then we can see many other poems are there written by him. Then apart from that, he has written a lot of essays as a critic. This tradition and individual talent. Then many other writings are there, like metaphysical. He wrote about metaphysical poets and even about the problems of Hamlet. And also he's really an eminent critic. Okay. Then while we talk about modernism, we all know is well known for its modernity and novelty approach. Okay, modern means novel, becoming really new. Okay, that's the concept of modernism. So here we can see Virginia Woolf, we can see many other writers like James Joyce and all, who were really sticked with the norms of bringing out products with novel ideas and novel things in it. Like that is modernism, okay, bringing new forms. And they really ignore the traditional and conventional style of writing. That is modernism actually. But while we learn about T.S. Eliot, what you have to understand is that T.S. Eliot had a different attitude towards modernism. Actually, his writing style was new. He introduced free verse in writing poems and dramas and all. Then we can find that he is bringing a new style. Even in this poem Wasteland, we could find a new style. That is, I talked about 5 parts here, and each and every part has got no connection. You'll find that it is being presented just like a cinematic reel, as we know that each scene may not be connected, but there will be, as a whole, there will be a connection. As a whole, it will be talking about a single thing, but we won't find, it will be scattered. We can't find a connection, an immediate connection between each parts. But obviously the whole thing will be talking about a single general theme. This is the style of modernism. Children, you might have heard about modern art. See, have you ever seen a modern art? See, in a modern art, you can find many bits of fragments of pictures will be there. And these fragments actually will have, as a whole, you can find a figure out of that, or a meaning or a theme out of that. But at a glance, we'll find that, see, this if it is a picture, see, a modern art picture, you'll find that, see, many colors are there, see, many things are being put together, and you can't figure out what it is actually at its first glance. But when you go deeper into it, when you go to an analytical level, you'll find a single theme out of that. That is modern art. So the same thing is being done in poetry, writing poetry also. See, here each parts are there. As I told about fragments, you can find many fragments of parts here, like the burial of dead is a part. Then in that particular part itself, each stanza holds different things, different incidents are being told there. Very different means you can find that even the background is changing, the place is changing, the time is changing, everything is changing. But as a whole, when you finish the whole 5 parts, you can find that, see, yeah, as a whole, this guy is talking about a single thing, and you'll get that effect of the whole effect. As a whole, you'll get really impressed about it when you go deeper into this poem. So this is modern art. Okay, so this technique of modernism, that's a technique of modernism and the expression of art which is being used in modernism. So such a technique could be seen here also, and T.S. Eliot is really brilliant guy to do that, especially in his Wasteland. But as I told you, though his technique is modern, his way of writing, his techniques, everything is modern, he never ignored tradition. In his essay Tradition and Individual Talent, you may find that he is a person who never says that tradition should be ignored. But you can find that many other modern writers like Virginia Woolf and James Joyce and many other. If you are doing more research on modernism, you'll find Bloomsbury group. It is a group of artists, not only writers, painters will be there. Many different expressions of manifestation of art could be seen in that group, the people who are using art. Okay, so that group of people, they had a notion that we should ignore completely, totally, we should get away from the conventional style, and tradition should never be mixed up, and a complete new and novel idea should be brought, and that is what is modernism. But in the case of T.S. Eliot, and also F.R. Lewis is another person whom you will come across in your syllabus itself. You have to learn about F.R. Lewis in your I think it's in your critical paper. There you have to learn about his great tradition. And see, there also he is also a modern writer. As I told you, T.S. Eliot and F.R. Lewis are the people who always try to pick up the string of tradition and bring out new novel works. Okay, so these two approaches of modernism you should understand. So T.S. Eliot was a person who always called back tradition and traditional values and moral values, and he wanted to fix the society with these values and bring out a new, novel, developed country. So this is his basic need of writing Wasteland. So he found that England, and not only England, the whole world after World War has found to be fragmented. It is totally broken. It is fragments. All over the world, you could find everything is broken. As people lost their faith, people lost their faith in themselves, in God, and in science. Everything they lost faith, and they were fragmented. And here, actually, T.S. Eliot is trying to fix these fragments. And they are fragmented because they have lost everything, and no moral values are being seen in the society. So he is trying to fix it again. Okay, so this fixing up of morality and moral values are the main aim of T.S. Eliot in writing Wasteland. So he is calling Wasteland, it could be taken as England as a wasteland, or you know what is wasteland? A land where complete waste is there. Okay, or a land, or we can take it in another sense, like a land which is an utter waste. It could be used for nothing. Okay, so both ways here he is including these two meanings here for wasteland. So you can take this wasteland as England or even the whole world, because he is traveling, he is taking the references from the not only from England or English works, but from many other mythologic myths are there. A lot of myths are being packed up here, and then we could find biblical references from Upanishad, reference from Buddha's fire sermon and all. So we could find both Eastern and Western concepts and references here, which are being put together. Okay. So now I think you have got a good idea about the background of this poem, and This poem actually shows the wide knowledge in myth and legends from the different parts of the world. And the knowledge which T.S. Eliot to have. Actually, he was influenced by 2 books. Okay, please write it down. It will help you for your net preparation. The name of the books are From Ritual to Romance, which has been written by Jesse L. Waston. Then another book is The Golden Bough. Bough means Bough, bow. It has been written by Sir James Frazer. So these are the 2 books. Actually these are 20th century books. These 2 books were really influenced by T.S. Eliot, and he took many references from these books. So that's why we could find a lot of myths in this poem. See, apart from the myths, biblical, Upanishad and Buddha's 5 sermons, we could find many authors' references or quotings from authors also, like Geoffrey Chaucer, William Shakespeare, then Edmund Spenser, then Aldous Huxley, Andrew Marvell, Walt Whitman, and even Baudelaire, Ovid and Homer. So a lot of references are there. Okay, the legends which are being referred here by T.S. Eliot, and that is the legend of the Fisher King, Arthurian legend, then Grail, the Holy Grail legend. Then we have seen legend of Oedipus, Tiresias, and about Philomela. Philomela, actually, it's a myth which you can see in Ovid's work. Okay, it's from the Roman writer Ovid. You might have heard about him. And this particular myth is being actually taken from his work by T.S. Eliot, and it is Philomela. Another thing about the introduction on this poem is that narration style. As I have told you, you should write about the narration style while you are answering this any question from this poem. And it is first one I told you, the modernist technique of fragmentary narration. Then we can see that it lacks a continuity. That each fragment lacks a continuity. That is also, I told you, it's a speciality of modernism. Then these disconnected episodes could be seen juxtaposed in this poem always. Okay, and the narration style, many narration style we can see here. Monologue is there, dialogues are there, and then we could find a cinematic technique, as I have told you. What is it? That is jumping from one scene to another scene. It could be images are being juxtaposed. The background is being jumping from one to another. The time is jumping, everything. Okay, then it's just like a movie. Okay, we could find that the things are happening just like a movie, a modern movie. Many languages are being used directly here, like Latin, Greek, German, Sanskrit and all. These 4 languages could be seen apart from English language. Okay, so these are the basic things which you have to know as an introductory part or about Wasteland.
So now we have done with the e-content. Now it's time for quiz. You may check out the link in the description and take the quiz. Okay, my dear students, hope you all have got a good idea about the wasteland. Now, I would like to take your attention towards the discussion part. So, you may please join the discussion in the comment box.